Hey, what's up, guys? Jared from Esports Bet Network here, and today we're bringing you another Esports Play of the Week video on the Call of Duty League matchup between the London Royal Ravens and the LA Thieves on March 26th. Let's start off with a quick recap of last week's matchup prediction between the New York Subliners and the LA Thieves. While the New York Subliners did take home the win, it was not easy. I personally thought that the Garrison hardpoint veto that they threw into it was going to be the lock of the match. They did not win the checkmate hardpoint like I thought they were going to win. And they started off very, very slow. Thankfully, they got two sets of streaks on the control to close out the last two rounds. Because for a minute, I was starting to think it was going to be an LA Thieves sweep. But it ended up being a reverse sweep for the New York Subliners. We cashed. That's ultimately all that matters to us. But it was definitely a sweat. One of the important things leading into this matchup is that the LA Thieves actually just went through a roster change. They're changing out one of their primary subs, Temp, for one of the up-and-coming AMs from Western named Venom. Now, Venom by far is probably the best prospect outside of Paul X. Now, Paul X went to the London Royal Ravens, which makes this matchup really spicy when you consider it. Two of the top AMs playing against each other in their first season in professional play ever, and we're going to see who made the better pickup. Was it the London Royal Ravens? Well, if you heard from Shawnee and his post-match interview after the LA Guerrillas matchup.
Well, the first day we got him in, it was like a breath of like life in the whole team. It was just the guy's insane. So he literally just gave us a breath of life to like we've just been grinding and the little practice that we've had, we've never been so confident. For the whole week we've been saying this was going to be a 20-minute series. Not to put them guys down, but just from practice, we just after like all the hard times, the last 5 months, I hope the fans understand, but now this is us back. So
they said they were going into the matchup expecting a 20-minute win. A 20-minute win for the London Royal Ravens, who didn't win a single match in their last home series. When I was looking at the line, one thing that caught my eye was that the London Royal Ravens really aren't getting any love at all from the odds makers. I'm not quite sure if the LA Thieves are going to be better with Venom, or if maybe they needed to change out another player on the team and that Temp really wasn't that bad. We're not going to know until this matchup is played. One important factor going to this matchup is that the London Royal Ravens just played Apocalypse. The LA Thieves have yet to play Apocalypse. Now, I was hoping the New York Subliners were going to pick Apocalypse Hardpoint against the LA Thieves. They decided to go the route of Checkmate Hardpoint, which was, by far one of their best maps, statistically. Will the London Royal Ravens pick Apocalypse? I think so. I think they're going to test the LA Thieves to win Apocalypse with a brand new player on a brand new map. So I give the London Royal Ravens a one-map edge in my mind. Now, when you look at the odds, you see that the London Royal Ravens are a plus 1.5 map underdog, and you're still getting negative 120 odds. So they only have to win 2 maps in the entire series. And for me, when I think that Apocalypse is likely to be played, what are the odds that the London Royal Ravens can win a Search and Destroy? They just managed to win their first Search and Destroy with Paul X that they ever played. They won 6-2 against the Los Angeles Guerrillas. The Los Angeles Guerrillas are by far one of the best search teams currently in COD. If we take a look at the map vetoes from London's last matchup, you'll see that they banned raid across the board. They're not interested in any raid at all. Now, when you consider the LA Thieves vetoes, they also veto raid hardpoint, but they veto express search and destroy, and they veto checkmate control. Now, checkmate control was played in London's last matchup. They managed to beat the Los Angeles Guerrillas 3-2 on checkmate control. So since Los Angeles Thieves are likely going to continue their bans from previous maps, whether they switch to player or not, you're not likely to see checkmate control again. So what map is open to be played? In my opinion, I think they're likely going to play Garrison Control. The LA Thieves love Garrison Hardpoint. They've shown that they don't mind Garrison Control. And the London Royal Ravens, they've played some Garrison Control as well in the past. Now, it was with a different lineup. They're not going to shy away from it. So personally, I actually edge the LA Thieves on Garrison Control just because I think they're the better control team overall. And I think they could have beat the New York Subliners on control on raid if they wouldn't have gave up so many kill streaks in a row and ended up giving 2 sets of streaks away to the Subliners. So me going into this matchup, London has to either win the first hardpoint or win the first search and destroy. Because if they ended up losing both of those, I think they might be a 3-0 for the LA Thieves. The only thing I don't know is how good the comms are going to be with the new player. I think their hardpoint communication is likely going to be rough. I think their search and destroy communication will probably be better. The LA Thieves, to me, if it goes 5 maps, I think are going to be the better search and destroy team overall, and I would favor them to win the match. But I do think the London Royal Ravens are capable of winning 2 maps along the way. And if the Leonard Royal Ravens happen to win the first 2 maps, you might see a 3-1. They might be able to win both hardpoints. We don't know. We've only seen London on hardpoint with this new lineup one time. If you did watch their matchup against the Dallas Empire previously, they've shown that their Moscow hardpoint is pretty good. And I could tell Shawnee really enjoys that Moscow hardpoint. So if it ends up going a 4th map Moscow hardpoint, and the first map you get Apocalypse hardpoint, you might definitely see the Leonard Royal Ravens pull the upset. But for me, I'm going to take the plus 1.5. I think it's a safer bet, and I think it's more likely to hit. If you like this esports betting content and breakdowns, feel free to follow our channel or follow me on Twitter at Poke Esports, and I'll be back again for another video later this week.